All right, guys, how are we? We're back with another preview on SFeatleyTV. It's England versus Scotland. It's a national derby, right, between two of probably one of the fiercest rivalries in international football. So England versus Scotland, and I've got Doug from the Dugout channel, first time on SFeatleyTV. How are you, mate?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for having me. And yeah, an old international rivalry rekindles tomorrow night. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we've got Reece as well for how are you, my friend?
I'm alright, thanks. How you doing? And also, what do you think of the new design?
I'd love to say I like the design, but I can't stand the badge.
That's the proper badge. It says football club on it. Something the owners should actually understand.
Yeah,
But this is the real deal. Hello, lads.
He's come ready and armed. That's what he's done.
Oh yeah.
We got Luca from This Is Luca's Life. How are you, mate?
Hello. Thank you very much for inviting me on. It's nice to meet you, Douglas and Reece, and for
Nice to meet you too.
for the co-hosts, and Stephen. Thanks for having me on as always. And there you go.
Yes. This I'd love to say it's a rivalry, but I've got a very thing to admit. My granddad's Scottish. My late granddad was Scottish. I never knew him before I was born, that actually. But my late grandma was my grandma was Welsh. My granddad was Scottish. I never knew them both because they died before I was born. But yes, I would love to know what it would have been like back then. But here's the thing: I didn't mind. I would say I don't mind the Welsh winning. The Scots probably not. I'm being honest. I'm being honest.
To be honest, than a hypocrite. It's better to be honest.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I think we probably both share the same thing with England as well.
Yeah, so we're gonna look at like sort of the history down it, and
There's no English in my family. There's no English in my family. Just relatives that live in England.
yeah.
None of my family have got an ounce of English in them.
Well, I'll start with you. Reece. What does like this sort of derby mean for you as a Scottish fan?
Well, just being Scottish itself, obviously, like there's always a sense of like England are the football team. They are as well the more successful team. Like they have won the World Cup like a long fucking time ago, and they still go on about it. But to be fair, if you've won something, you should be proud to admit that. So I think for ourselves, we haven't achieved that sort of trophy, but we're still a proud nation. We still play with heart. We play with passion. We play to win, even if there's games where we don't, even if it's by like the odd goal or it's just we get absolutely smashed. The one thing you'll get out of us is a game. We'll fight. And in terms of what it means to just being Scottish against England, it's literally like it is the bigger footballing nation out of the UK versus probably the country with the most heart. I think if you look at the Irish, the Welsh, they've got some good teams. They've had some great moments in the World Cup. But I don't think those nations, in terms of football players, have bigger heart than we do. And that's no disrespect to them. It's just I think we have the more heart. And that's why you see it. We will play for 90 minutes, like win, lose or draw, and you will get a fight out of us. So if we get a win over England, it's great. It doesn't define our tournament. I'll say that for starters. Even if we beat England tomorrow, that does not define our tournament. What happens against Croatia as well, which defines our tournament. But this is a good stepping. I'm not going to say England are the stepping stone, but you look at the group. Realistically, they're the team that should win this group. They are the biggest team in the group. You beat them, it gives you good credit. But it's also the fact is, if you're in the tournament to even do something, you've got to beat the best teams, and they are one of them. And in the sense of it, it's a rivalry, it's passion. I'm a Man United fan. He's a freaking Liverpool fan. So you're going to get, it's the same passion for club football as it is international. It's the exact same for me.
Luca, I mean, as an English, being an England supporter, what does it mean for you?
No, I think this game's a really, really massive game. Massive egos. Let bygones. Massive England and Scotland game. Like I remember, I can't remember what game it was, but I think it was '96 or something like that. But I can't remember what year it was. It might have been something around that. And I remember England Scotland had a massive game back in the day, and I think it's a massive game for like what it means. And
Is that the Gascoigne goal?
That might have been it, yeah.
Yeah,
There's so many to find. There's so many defining games over the years. Like you've got Scotland that beat England in '67. We beat you 3-2 after you won the World Cup. You've also got the Gascoigne goal in '96. Like there are defining games in terms of our nations. You look at the last game a couple of years ago. If it hadn't been for, to be honest, a dodgy referee decision, we would have won that game. But it's football. Shit happens. You've got to run with it regardless. Win, lose or draw, you've got to run with it. Yeah,
because I absolutely agree, Reece. Like I know what you touched on earlier, and you were just saying that Scotland, they always play for pride, they show passion. And I watched the game against who did you play? Czech Republic. And I know
Czech Republic.
And I do think Scotland, if they had a better clinical striker, right, then I genuinely think Scotland could have got at least a point out of that game. So I think it'll be a difficult game tomorrow. I think Scotland will go into this game. Hopefully, Kieran Tierney's back for the game.
I still haven't heard a thing.
No, he's touch and go. He's touch and go.
No, in Arsenal, mate. He's probably our medical doctor's terrible, so therefore they must have rang Kieran Tierney up, and then that's it. But anyway.
To be honest, I actually don't hope he's back. I hope he's just back for the Arsenal games, isn't it?
Get battered by Ivan.
To be fair, in the same circumstance, the Man United players play for England, the ones that have went home injured or are injured, I'd rather they just pulled out like Rashford and Shaw. I'd rather they just went home right now.
It's true.
I'd rather they be fit for the season.
But the thing is, going to this game, I think it'd be a really difficult game. I think England are the favourites to win this game. So if England win, they qualify. If Scotland win, then it all comes down to the last game for England, whereas England needs at least a point against Czech Republic, depending on what Scotland do against Croatia. I think going into this game, I think England will win this game. I think we'll end up beating Scotland. I think England will get the win. I think with the injuries, the likes of Dean Henderson is out. Gives an opportunity of Ramsdale to be on the bench. Don't decide with Ramsdale, but there you go. But Stephen knows what I'm talking about. And then England, I think we'll win this game. I think it'll be a comfortable win for England. It'll be a lot of goals in it. And that's it really. So what's so funny?
You'll believe anything that comes out in the media, won't you? You'll believe any little story that comes out.
Yo, Doug, please.
Hi.
All right, mate.
Yeah, talk. I'm going to go to you before.
Yeah, all right, dude. All right.
Yeah, go on, talk. You go for it. Actually, no, sorry, talk. Doug first. So I'm trying to do it one after the other. So Doug go, and then talk. I'll let you go. So go on. What does it mean for you, Doug?
Oh, it means everything, this fixture. I remember being a very young. How old was I? I'd either be 6 or 7 when we beat you in '99 to qualify for Euro 2000, and I remember that was the last win we actually had at Wembley, was 1999. And then just ever since then, it seems to be England being better than Scotland. Because to be fair, we had gone a long time without actually playing each other. My memory was the game at Hampden Park where we drew 2-2. We were very, very close to winning that day, and it only took a Harry Kane equaliser to spare England's blushes that day. So look, it's going to be a very interesting game. I disagree slightly with Luca. I don't think there's going to be many goals in this game. They are usually in England and Scotland, and I actually think this is going to be a very tight game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talk. Say for you. I mean, what does it mean for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's the only reason why I did that thumbnail like I did it is because that's what it is. This is more than football, This is like England, Scotland is don't get me wrong. I've got some Scottish blood from my mum's side, so this is like you talk about rivalries. Like this is massive. This is even bigger than France v England or anything like that. This is the one. This is like people might you talk about the old battles, William Wallace and everything else, but that's what it is. That's what it is. This is It's a
Only
massive
one,
thing.
only one international derby comes close, and that's Germany versus Holland. It's the only
Yeah.
one that comes close.
Yeah, you're right, Reece. Yeah, you know, for the sort of for what it means historically, you know, it's humongous, humongous. And you know what? The pride that Scottish fans have in their team is admirable. And I agree with Doug. I did say that Scotland will be our toughest game. I do think it is going to be a tough game for us to try and break you down. We're going to try and get through, but and also I think the squad that you've got now is probably one of the most filled squad with talent that you've had for a while. Do you not agree?
It's probably the best squad I've seen since we almost qualified for Euro 2008 when we unluckily lost to Italy in the last minute. It's probably
agree.
if not, it's probably better. If not, it's probably either on that level or if not better. The only difference is in that team we had McFadden, we had Ferguson, we had McGregor, we had Chris Boyd in his prime as well.
Yeah.
Like Kenny Miller in his prime. The only difference is we just didn't get the job done. And there's a chance we can get the job done tomorrow, but it is going to be solid. I'm not going to say we're going to whitewash you because fucking that would be a dream. But it's literally it's going to be a proper battle, and it's going to be a chess game. Whoever cancels each other out tomorrow, like that's what it's going to be.
How do you see Scotland approaching this game?
Personally, I think we're going to be. I think similar to how we played against Czech Republic, except we're not going to come out and absolutely smash England. Like there's a difference in quality there, but I think the one thing that we will.
On the line?
I reckon. I hope so. I mean, I honestly can't tell you what the fuck he was doing. Like, fuck knows. But you look back in that game, and we were by far, like, no disrespect to Czech Republic, who had a fantastic goalkeeper and Patrick Schick scoring 2 great goals. That whole game, who were the better team? Scotland.
Scotland.
We were the better.
Yeah.
We were the better team. We just were not clinical enough, and you saw it. Like we were getting chances left, right, and centre. We just didn't get the ball in the net. And also, I've spoken to Luca a few times in the group chat the past couple of days. I've spoken to Doug, I've spoken to yourself. We all have the same opinion, and I'm not going to disagree. We did not play with a clinical striker against Czech Republic. Che Adams or Kevin Nisbet should have started.
I will just say this, isn't it? I mean, I will just say that obviously it's a massive game for me in terms of the sense of like
it's national pride.
Scottish blood as well. It's national pride. I mean, it's like the pride you like when you have like massive club rivalries as well. It's the,
Exactly.
so it's exactly the same thing. And as much as I'd like to joke, as much as like you joke about it, oh yeah, well you want to like we're the better team, we'll want to whitewash it, but it's not going to be like that. It's never going to be like that. I mean, it's
going to be tight. Like this is going to be a very tight game. It's going to be a 1-goal winner
because there's a lot at stake as well. I mean, like for us, we don't want to lose this game because we don't want to be dragged into the whole like battle of it right at the in the last game. We want to win this game to make sure that we just need a point to top the group.
Exactly.
So for us, it's more about being as comfortable as we can be before the last game.
The thing is,
it's for you. You have to win this game to stand a chance of getting through. So I mean, you just saw Macedonia, and you've just seen. I think it's who else lost last night? Turkey. As well.
Turkey lost.
Turkey.
As well last night.
They were embarrassing to watch last night. They were embarrassing for 90 minutes.
See now they're going to even struggle to even get third or be one of the best third placing teams, which is like a lottery to be honest.
Their goal difference is -5 as well. Because what was it? They finished 2-0 Wales last night.
That's the thing as well. So
if you look at the Netherlands group, they've got 3, Austria have got 3, and Ukraine have got 3.
that is going to be.
So you could actually get 3 of the. You could actually get 3 of the best third play. You could actually get 3 teams going through that group.
I've already said as well, like the team that's won that group is the team that won earlier on this afternoon. Ukraine are winning that group.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I've said everywhere I've went, Holland would win that first game, but Ukraine would still win the group. They would still win it.
I mean, talking in terms of England's lineup, Luke, what would you say is the What should Southgate do for this lineup? Should he keep it the same, or would you be looking him to try and rotate the squad a little bit?
I think this might be the game where he may stick. He may just change Trippier up. I think he may just change Trippier up. But I don't see why he needs to change from what we started with, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because we really did exceptionally well. I mean, he could, if he wanted to, he could drop some different plays in there, but I don't see why he would do that when we played really well in that first game. For me, that's why I said that we're going to the final, because what I've seen against Romania, before the Euros, the way we played it, and that told me this is his intention going into this competition. And with the players we've got, we can play that kind of game with the creation we've got, with the intelligence in the players, and if he gives them the sort of right instruction and lets them, be creative and go out and do it. And I tweeted it before the game. I said, does Gareth Bale keep them on the leash, or does he let the youth shine? And he let the youth shine because they went out and did their thing. So for me, I think what I ask is to Reece and Doug is, where do you see our weakness? Where do you see the weakness in England team, where Scotland could get some joy to create some chances rather than relying on some set pieces or something like that?
I'll let you go first.
I would say your right-hand side. I don't think Kyle Walker is the best defensively. I wonder if he might bring in Reece James for this game. The reason is I think Reece James has been fantastic this season. And I just think at times I thought Kyle Walker looked a little bit exposed against Perisic, and I thought whoever was playing right wing for Croatia, Rebic, I thought he actually gave Trippier a very hard game as well. So I think it will be a very interesting battle, that because we'll obviously have Andy Robertson against like a Kyle Walker or a Reece James. You'll have Raheem Sterling, and then probably like a Luke Shaw or a Ben Chilwell versus, which is probably going to be Stephen O'Donnell. But let's be honest, me and Reece have been speaking all week, and we still can't believe Stephen O'Donnell's a footballer. He looks like a rabbit in the headlights. He doesn't even know where the football is. Half the game, he was either putting the ball out of play or passing straight to one of their opponents. And I hope Callum McGregor is nowhere near this team tomorrow evening, because when he came on against Czech Republic, it looked like he was playing for Czech Republic.
I want to shoot myself.
So do you think he could play? He could play Shaw and James instead.
Hang on, talk. I just wanted to sort of get Lucas' idea about the England squad first. What do you think Lucas should Southgate do in terms of this England squad?
You know what, right? I literally think that we should make quite a few changes. I think England should bring in the same lineup as when England won the other day against Croatia, but I think we should go with Reece James should come into this game. Harry Maguire, probably I wouldn't bring him in because England would need to obviously save for the knockout stage. But I would literally go for Reece James, keep the same defence. Midfield, I'll go with Calvin Phillips. I thought he was absolutely brilliant in the last game. Yeah. Declan Rice, I would go for. I would maybe bring someone like Jack Grealish in, because before the team came out, I was quite disappointed with the team. But I would go for someone like Jack Grealish. I'd maybe bring someone like Saka to come in, because if Luke Shaw.
Where would you put Grealish though? On the left.
Put Grealish on the left, and then you have Foden, and then you have Harry Kane.
What, Foden on the right?
Yeah, you have Foden on the right, Grealish on the left, or you have Grealish in that creativity midfield, and then have.
I can see what you mean, but I've not.
That things. Well, I would see, like, he makes one or two changes here or there. I won't change a lot out of that team. That team played really, really well. So I don't see why you want to disrupt it. Like, I think I go.
One of those is
It's one
Go
of
with
those
on the line
great.
of Doug.
Hang on. It's
Well,
one of
Luke
those great.
Shaw's out for the game.
Whoa. It's one of those great. Yeah, but it's one of those great sayings is that if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And that's the thing. They played really well, and I would get maybe you could bring in a Grealish next to as maybe give Calvin Phillips a rest, for example, right? But I wouldn't even do that. I mean, I would keep Mount in there. Maybe I would play Sancho instead of Sterling on the right, and then I'd play Foden on the left, right? And
You would have.
then
Why would you not play Raheem Sterling? Because Sterling scored. It would build him confidence.
yeah, but he
I
wasn't
think
good throughout that game.
No, it wasn't his best game.
Thank you,
It wasn't one of
Stephen.
his best. He wasn't.
Thank you.
No, I'm sorry.
I've
It wasn't a good game from him at all.
I've actually
yes, he
do you know what?
scored, but he wasn't.
Do you know what? I've actually seen a lot of people actually say that Sterling had a good game against
Why? 'Cause he
Croatia. I
scored a
thought he
goal.
was
He was
terrible
poor.
apart from the goal.
He
No,
was
it
giving
wasn't
away the
his
ball
best
too
game.
much. He kept
wasn't.
holding on to the ball too much. He needs to. I think that Sancho would be better in terms of service, maybe for Kane. And maybe Kane wouldn't have to drop so bloody deep as well. The one thing I'd ask from Kane, don't drop so deep. If he's going to keep dropping deep, I would rather play Calvert-Lewin out there and let Mount, Sancho, and Foden all
Yeah,
provide
but the thing
service.
with Harry Kane, he always seems to help the midfield. That's what he kind of does.
Yeah, but he
the thing as well
was
is,
missing. He was terrible for that game. He was missing.
Yeah, he was
So I'd
terrible.
rather yes,
Hold
he was terrible.
This
So
is
what I'd
why
rather do.
you need to have.
Whoa. What I'd
This
rather
is
do.
why.
Hang on. What I'd rather do then, instead of having a striker that keeps getting missing because he drops too deep, play Calvert-Lewin as the front target man and use Sancho, Foden, Mount to what they're supposed to do.
Where are you going to put Harry
Create
Kane?
the chances for him.
Where are you going to put Harry
Put him on the
Kane?
bench.
no, you ain't starting Calvert-Lewin over Harry Kane.
can't do
And the other thing is you can't have Harry Kane.
Big game.
You can't have Harry Kane being the lone person up front on his own because he's just going to get marked
I
out.
would.
The reason why he drops deeper is so that
Because he links up and he helps the players.
Hold on. The reason he drops deeper is because they can't then mark him out with two players because you're talking Gapsville, talking Grand Canyon for
There was
other
nowhere there.
players to run in. So this
He's
is
never
why.
there, though.
This is why
He's
he's.
not playing with 10 men though.
Yeah, but it's there, but you can't. This opens up opportunities. It creates opportunities for me, and I think you should start the same team. But I go down with what Doug said. Maybe bring Reece James on. Maybe even Shaw. He may just refresh those two up because Shaw against Robertson. Wait a minute, left back. If he against Robertson, it's like Robertson is opposite number. If Robertson's
Sterling.
It'll be Shaw versus O'Donnell.
O'Donnell, right? Okay. And
Robertson versus James, but that'll be an interesting battle.
Yeah, that's the thing. But James is, you know what it was like. Reece James. He's solid. You ain't getting past him. If he just stands his ground, you ain't getting past him. It's a hard work getting past him. So with overlaps, if you create overlaps, then yeah, but that then just nullifies the. You're not going to be able to use that side of the pitch, are you? That width like you want to. He can't get down to the water corner where he wants to put them crosses in and whip the ball in. You're going to have to play inside.
Let me just get some comments as well. Big up Rich Sports in the chat as well. Big up Say, come on, Scott. 2 goals, chance to score. Don't put too much money on it. England should make some changes. I would play Chilwell. Hi, Rich. The pressure is on Scotland. They need to get something out of this game. Yeah, I would say, I'd say Reece James. I'd say Luke Shaw, and then if you are going to change one more thing, I'd play Sancho or Saka instead of Sterling. One of the two.
But the thing is, you should bring Saka into this game. If Luke Shaw is injured, then literally
Sancho.
No, but listen, we've already said there's no need for him to change it. All he's got to think about is, in my opinion, is that the Trippier position, because it was a big question and it seemed that it paid off in that game against Croatia. Now, does he need to take that risk again against Scotland? In my opinion, I don't think he does. I think we can change that position, but keep everything else as it is.
Well, Well, according to a certain Fabrizio Romano, apparently Trippier is worth £43 million in this
What?
window.
Are you
No.
crazy?
No.
Shit, how much am I worth then, man? I must be worth at least fucking 250 mil for going to put myself in the market.
I'll say I'm worth 75 million.
Yeah.
Because of
Reece,
Spurs.
how much is Reece worth? We've got to put Reece is going to be like the first 500 million player, mate. Reece is like first 500 million. Yeah. It's like, you know what I mean? Steven's on the bench. Luca don't even get in the squad. Luca don't even get on the coach.
Luca's the mascot.
Yeah.
I'm the masterclass.
I'm only joking, Luca.
I know you are. I know you are.
But I don't see how he's worth that kind of money. I really don't. I mean,
To me, he's not worth more than his release clause of 32 million. He's not worth any more than that.
yeah.
It's nice to see. It's nice to. Obviously, I know we are talking about England and Scotland, but I don't know if anyone has seen. But apparently, Spurs have mucked up their manager again. Apparently, they're not getting Fonseca now.
Now they're going after
looks like
Gattuso.
Gattuso.
He's only been the Fiorentina job 2 weeks, and he wants to leave already.
Can I ask you this then? How long do you think it's going to be before? I don't know the name of the owner of Spurs. But how long do you think it's going to be before he starts to think? Wait a minute. Let me just think about what's going on with Daniel Levy, because I think Daniel Levy causes a lot of problems for that club.
It says it all really that it's Jorge Mendes is actually doing the decision of who to appoint as manager, not Daniel Levy. It's an agent that's doing the job.
That's crazy.
Gattuso's going to Tottenham, by the way. So
I don't think Gattuso will end up at Tottenham.
I don't either. Scott Parker. Scott Parker will definitely go to Tottenham. I can see Scott Parker. Apparently, he's going to be leaving Fulham at the end of the season, or the end of this week. Apparently,
hang on. Let's not worry about club football here, right?
Oh, right, yeah. Sorry. But yeah, the Scotland England game. I think for me, I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1 England. I think Scotland will get an opportunity, and they'll get more than one opportunity. I think they've got some quality there to put the ball in the net. We know that. That there is that quality there, but I think this is the problem, you see, because look at what is it, 5 million to 55 million, Scotland, and right to the pool of talent. This is where, for me, when I said to you the other day about the players, you know, if you look at the England players, you give them a percentage out of 10. Most of them, you're going to give them between a 7 and a 10. Whereas, in Scotland, where do the whole squad, where do they stack up out of a 10? Then you add it all up combined, then there's going to be a big difference for England, isn't there? You know. There's a big difference in terms of quality.
Just before the score predictions, I just wanted to ask Doug and Reece what they feel they would do for Scotland in the game. Should they change it up, or what would they do? I'll start with Reece. What would they do?
I would instantly make changes. And number one is Stephen O'Donnell gets dropped. I would drop him right wing back. I'd stick in Nathan Patterson. Centre backs, I would tell Grant Hanley to do his bloody job. Midfield, I would drop Scott McTominay. I would drop him completely. I would start Billy Gilmore instead. Ryan Christie, he was shite, but we've not got anybody else for attacking midfield, so he's got to play. Up front, there's not a chance I would want Lyndon Dykes playing. I don't want Stuart Armstrong playing. I would drop them both. I would play Nisbet and Che Adams, to be honest. And then
this is the thing. Go on, carry on. You finish.
So that's about five changes I would make there. That's about 5, and they're all accurate for me.
Yeah, Doug, what would you do?
Well, I know, and I think we all know that Marshall will be in goal. I think that's certainty. I agree with Reece. I think Stephen O'Donnell needs to be dropped completely because he was really
I don't
poor.
know why Fredericks isn't there.
No, I exactly. I mean, one thing from what I got from that Czech Republic game, Reece, I don't know if you've thought about it. James Forrest, do you think he's worthy of a start?
What about that?
I don't know, because he had 2 or 3 chances in that game. I didn't think he didn't take very well. You saw it when he got in the box. He didn't look toothless. I think if you're going to play someone, if you're going to play a winger up there, maybe Fraser, but it's not enough. Like, I want 2 strikers.
I'm going to base this lineup on if Kieran Tierney is fit. Okay, so I'm going Marshall.
Yep.
I'm going left wing back Robertson.
Yep.
Right wing back Patterson.
Definitely.
Then Tierney left centre back. Cooper and Hanley. I think Jack Hendry needs to be dropped. I still haven't forgiven him for trying to shot from 25 yards out and then giving it straight to Schick to score from the blooming halfway line.
49.7 yards exactly.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go McGinn. And then I would actually bring in Gilmore.
Definitely.
And then I would bring probably Armstrong in for Christie, and then I'd play Dykes and Adams up front. I think we need 2 attackers up front.
You still play Dykes.
Yeah, because he's a physical presence. Yeah, he might not score goals, but he has a physical presence and he is a very good team player. Obviously, I've seen like Dykes at Livingston, and he actually did well at Livingston. So I think if they play Maguire, then get Dykes and Adams on them as soon as possible, because for me, Maguire, it's a big risk for England to play Maguire.
You know what I would actually prefer in this game? We drop the playing the attack midfielder and we go 3-4-3. I would honestly convince us going 3-4-3. Play Robertson and play that flat back 3. Play McGinn and Gilmore as a midfield pairing. Play Robertson and Patterson out in the wide positions. Then play a front 3 of Adams through the middle, and then possibly you play 2 wingers. You could play James Forrest and you could play Ryan Fraser as 2 wingers, and then change it, because I think we're going to need a presence on those fullbacks. I think 3-4-3 might actually be the smarter option in this game. Alternatively, you could play Christie beside McGinn in midfield as well, but it depends what you want to go for. Right. But I don't think McTominay should start, because that's 3 games in a row. He's pissed me off.
I do agree with McTominay. He was shocking. He was shocking against Czech Republic.
3 games in a row that he needs dropped.
You do need, in my opinion, you do need to have some more attackers moving through our defence. Because otherwise, it's going to be all too easy, isn't it, for our defence to close it down. Whereas again, if you've got 2 runners, if you've got two forwards up there who can get in between, then there's a problem.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly one because we haven't got much time left, so I'm gonna ask for everyone's predictions. So, talk.
Yeah, like I say, I think it's going to be a real difficult game. But I would just say I'm just going to say 2-1 England.
Okay, Luca.
I think it'd be a really, really difficult game. Scotland will go into this game. I'm going to go for 2-1 England, the same as Talk Man U, really.
Okay. Reece.
Well, I'm not going to predict my country to get beat. But I think it's going to be the exact same scoreline, but in reverse. I think it's going to be tight and close. I think the expectation of the game will be a bit too big for England in terms of and what I mean by that is there'll be so much pressure on England to go out there and dominate as the better team and consolidate qualification. But I think we'll be more up for it than England. I think we'll be the team that'll be up for it more, and I think we'll take the game to you a little bit more. So I think we'll get. I think we could get 2 good chances on the break, and we could end up scoring. So I'm going to go 2-1 Scotland.
Okay.
I see what you're saying there, Reece. I see what you're saying there because of the individual pressure on the players.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, Douglas, what are you saying?
I am going to say we won't get beat. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind a draw, to be honest. I honestly would.
Who's your last game?
Croatia at Hampden Park.
Croatia at Hampden.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we know. Sorry, yeah, we know what Croatia are about, don't we? That midfield.
There's always been good. There's always been good games between Scotland and Croatia in terms of like. There's never been a clear like who's got the better record in terms of international football. It's considerably even.
To be honest,
between us,
I look at it and I think I look at it right, and I think with Scotland, right, will Scotland get out the group though? That's the thing.
I think we can still. I honestly think we can still finish third. I think we could play one of the 4 third place teams. I think we can be, but it's going to have to be. We're going to have to play the 2 perfect games to do it.
I mean, I did put Scotland second in the group because I genuinely believe we had enough to get second. But that game
Someone
was
playing longos.
It wasn't representative. That wasn't a representation of your squad. That scoreline.
I think it was a bit harsh on. Scotland. Like obviously, social media, you're going to get bantered, and I've had very little banter. I've had very little banter this week. I'm surprised, but you look at the Scotland game, and there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, it was a chicken and goal, like banter for the shit goal." But no goalkeeper in world football saving that. Doesn't matter what position you're in, even if it was Pickford 35 yards up, he's not going to save that. You've also got like saying, "Oh, we're such a shit team." We're not really. If we're a shit team, we wouldn't beat the Euros. Like we earned our place there. I think people are just not giving us we're not the best football nation in the world, but we deserve a little bit of respect. I don't think we're getting that from a lot of people.
Wait. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly go for my prediction because we literally are running out of time for us to go before we have to do the next watch along. So for me, my scoreline would say it's gonna be tight, close battle game. But I just feel, well, from what I've seen with Scotland, their lack of being able to convert chances, I feel that could be the Achilles heel for you. So I would say 2-0, to be honest.
Just to respond to Static's comment, there's only one Rangers player in the Scotland team, and that's McLaughlin, the goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It says it.
Because Ryan Jack's injured.
I'm surprised about that, but
Patterson actually is a Rangers player as well. He's a right back, but he has to start.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna have to run out of time. Anyway. So, but yeah, there's great debate about like a massive.
There's massive pressure and expectation on these two teams tomorrow. It's going to be interesting.
Because they're part of Europe. That'd be an idea.
We are we're part of Europe. Like that's like I don't know why. What sort of question is that?
That's like asking why is Brazil and Argentina in South America?
Yeah.
Or asking why America don't take part in the fucking Copa America.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks for everyone tuning in. Smash that like button, subscribe button. Doug, where can I find you?
You can find me on the Dugout Football channel. You can find me on Instagram at Douglas.Horn. Twitter is enroad_1992, as you can see on the screen there, and Facebook is Douglas James Horn. But thank you very much for having me, Stephen. It is a pleasure.
No, thank you. Reece, where can I find you?
You can find me on Twitter. It's now been edited to R7 United. And you can also find me as an exclusive on the World of Football podcast, which is also on the Dugout Football channel. We have got a watch along tomorrow for the Scotland-England game at 8 o'clock. So we'll get there around about 10 to 8. We'll go live and we'll just chat shit. You can also find me on Twitch at Reece_Lightning1997. Thanks for having me on, dude.
Yeah, no worries. Luca, where can I find you, mate?
Yes, please find me on This Is Lucas Live. If you can't find my channel, then type in This Is Lucas Live with Arsenal next to it if people find it difficult to find my channel. But yes, I'm currently just reached 1,000 subscribers quite recently, sitting on 1,016. So I want to congratulate myself onto that, and I couldn't do it without everyone in this chat right here, and Stephen, Talkman, you lot, whoever's been on the stream. And the target is to get to 1,100 by August, and let's get these watch hours up. So,
yep. Talkman, where can I find you, mate?
Yeah, on Twitter, iTalkMU. Find me on here, SFeatleyTV. Find me on Football United TV, the Man United Agenda, Rich Sports, and Dugout Daily.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like I say, you can find me here and pretty much any channel that wants me to come on and help them out. And all my socials.
You have to get on the Doug's channel.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna have to get.
Yeah,
we'll definitely have to do that at some point.
Definitely.
That Dirk is asking, is it qualifying or something? No, this is the main stage. This is the European Championships. These are the finals.
Yeah, this is like Euro 2020.
We've done the qualifications. This is the finals.
This is where it counts.
To be fair, you might not actually know, so we may as well just quickly say this is the finals.
Anyway, we're gonna leave it there. Thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah.